I opened up my marriage and it changed everything. I never thought I'd be typing these words on Reddit, but here we are. I'm a 32M, married to my wife, 31F, for 8 years now. We've never had big fights or anything major. Life has been comfortable, happy even. But somewhere along the way, I started feeling weird emotions I didn't expect. A restless curiosity, a bit of boredom I couldn't quite name, maybe a fear of missing out on something in life. Last year, my wife and I had a long, late-night talk and decided to open our marriage. Yeah, that line, we should open our marriage. It sounded crazy, even a little scary. I never imagined we would actually say those words, but somehow it just clicked. The first time I followed one of those rules, my heart was pounding. A few weeks after our talk, I worked up the courage to download a dating app just to see what happens. I tried to keep calm, but I was shaking. I matched with someone, let's call her Sarah, and we started chatting. Sarah was funny and warm, and after a couple of weeks texting, we agreed to meet in person. I remember sitting at the bar waiting, wiping my sweaty palms. She walked in, a stranger with a smile that somehow felt friendly. We talked for hours, honestly more than I had with anyone in a long time except my wife. I was buzzing with nerves and excitement and guilt all at once. When she kissed me goodbye that night, I felt electric. That walk to my car afterward. In the middle of the night, I realized, holy shit, what am I doing? But I also realized something I hadn't expected. I could still love my wife and be attracted to someone else. It was confusing, honestly. When I told my wife later that night, her eyes were wide. She seemed excited and proud of me. But I also saw a flash of something else in her face. Maybe relief that I hadn't run off. Maybe jealousy. Who knows? We're in this together, I reminded myself. And then the plot twist of our lives began. One night, a couple of weeks later, I came home late, guiltily late, after seeing Sarah again. I was quiet in the kitchen making tea when my wife walked in. I could feel the tension before she even spoke. You were supposed to check in, she said softly. I froze. I know, I'm sorry. I lost track of time. She looked hurt, not angry, just a little disappointed. And that cut deeper than anything. Suddenly I felt like a kid who broke curfew again. Hey, I reached out. I'm sorry. I promise I'll do better. She pulled back. It's not that. It's just, you'll understand one day. I stared. Understand what? But she didn't elaborate that night. Instead, she changed the subject. And we went to bed as usual. I lay awake for hours thinking about it. When I came home from work that night, there was a small sticky note on the fridge in her handwriting. Meet me in the living room when you get back. We need to talk. Love. Love. That word saved me, but my brain was still in panic mode. I sat on the couch nervously, waiting for her. She took a seat beside me, and the room was silent for a long moment. Finally, she took my hand and said, I never cheated on you. I exhaled. My jaw was probably hanging open. What? Wait, what? I saw your phone, she said. But I have to tell you, I never did anything with anyone. The night you texted me was me at that time, alone, just scrolling Instagram. I saw your conversation by accident, and I panicked. I didn't even sleep with him. Sarah isn't someone I know. She's not my friend, or coworker, or anything. But I saw you making plans, and I thought you didn't trust me. And that hurt. I needed to see if you cared. See if I cared? I repeated, mind reeling. She nodded. I thought maybe I was losing you. You were excited to sleep with someone else, and I started to feel invisible. So I saw your text, and I just panicked. So you didn't go through with it? I asked, trying to understand. She shook her head. I haven't. The coworker flirted, but I stopped it. I came home every time and waited for you. My mind was blown. You were just testing me? She looked down, sheepish. I'm sorry. It was dumb. I reached for her hands. No, this. I paused. This is us being honest. Confusion swirled inside me. Huh? It's true, she said. I've been feeling guilty. Guilty? I asked. still not following. She took a deep breath. I agreed to open the marriage because I felt like something was missing too, but then when it started happening, I got scared. I didn't actually want to, not with anyone else. I just wanted to see what you would do. And when I didn't hear from you at night, I panicked. In that moment, everything changed. All the tension in the house just evaporated. We talked for hours about fears and fantasies and why we even wanted this in the first place. We cried a little, we laughed a little. She told me she was terrified of losing me, and I admitted I was terrified of losing our spark. The biggest twist was realizing that opening our marriage wasn't about sex with other people at all. It was about finally communicating the things we'd buried. All those nights I thought I was doing something crazy and selfish. She was at home alone wondering if I still loved her. When we finally fell asleep, it was curled up together, closer than we'd been in a long time. I realized I had never stopped loving her. The next day, we both agreed on something new. Our marriage would stay open, but only if we both wanted it, together, honestly. No secret dates, no cutting out emotions. If either of us felt jealous or insecure, we talk about it immediately. We even made a new check-in system. Whenever one of us is with someone else, the other gets a little message afterward just to make sure we're okay. Something to say, hey, I'm here. Since then, everything changed. We started having real date nights again, not just Netflix on the couch. We remembered our favorite restaurant, our favorite wine, that road trip we never took. We flirt again. Last week, she caught me watching our wedding video by myself. Don't ask me how she found out. And she pulled me into a surprise dance in the living room, just the two of us. It was like a scene from those cheesy, romantic movies we used to watch. I had to confront a huge moral dilemma. What fidelity really means to us. This ordeal made us question the promise we made on our wedding day and then actually reinforce it in a better way. We realized our marriage isn't a cage. It's a choice we make every day. The most unexpected part was how much trust we rebuilt. Each conversation about jealousy or fear only made our bond stronger. I saw how deeply my wife cares. She saw how much I needed her reassurance. It was raw and messy, but it worked. And now, an odd thing. Neither of us really feels the urge to sleep with anyone else anymore. We tried a few flings, but we always came right back to each other, craving us. We discovered that the spice we were missing wasn't with other people. It was with each other. So here we are now. Not in some sexy polyamorous paradise, but in a stronger, more honest marriage. We have peace, knowing we can talk about literally anything, even the crazy ideas. Thanks for letting me share this. It's been a wild ride, but I'm grateful we went down this road together. UPDAT 6 months later. We're still here, still married, and stronger than ever. The open part is basically on pause right now. It was an experiment after all, and maybe just something we needed to learn from. Since that big talk, we've moved forward with a clear mind. We've done a lot of couples therapy. Great to have a safe space for honesty. And even a small stay-at-home celebration for our anniversary. For Valentine's Day, she surprised me with that road trip we always talked about to the beach, where we had our honeymoon. We cooked dinner together every night and watched the sunset. No other dates. No other people, just us, laughing and feeling closer. I've learned something about trust. Holding hands in the kitchen feels just as thrilling as holding someone else's hand would. Stupid, right? But it's true. We flirt again. We compliment each other embarrassingly as hell, I admit it. And we kiss like teenagers. One unexpected gift. I feel a spark of creativity again. I started writing again, something I hadn't done since college. Just stories, nothing big. But it feels good. My wife is my #1 fan now. Sometimes she even edits my drafts, with amusement at my occasional grammar fail. This whole journey taught me who I really am and what I really want. I realized I want honesty above all else. The rules we set as a couple are guidelines, not commandments. It's okay to change them, as long as we do it together. I think the biggest twist in all this is that I never lost my wife at all. At one point, I was so scared we would that I almost pushed us apart. Instead, we grew closer. UP date, 1 year later. We just celebrated our 9th anniversary, monogamously, more mindful than ever. On our anniversary dinner, my wife gave a toast that nearly made me tear up. She said, I love you, and I always will. This year taught me how lucky I am to call you my husband. There's no one else I'd rather choose, again and again, and I feel exactly the same way. Life is still far from perfect. We're human, hello. But we know how to fix it together. Every time we catch ourselves slipping back into old routines or small arguments, we stop and think, do we really want this, or do we want each other? And it snaps us right back. In a way, the real surprise was that opening our marriage closed a bigger gap in our hearts. I never imagined it could.